Hey, welcome back to Steve Reads a Podcast. What's up, fellas?
Reads a podcast.
Oh my God, is that what I said?
I think so.
I think
Wow.
you did.
We're going to go with it. Steve Reads a Podcast.
Let's roll.
Welcome back to Steve Reads a Comic. I'm Sean. What's up, Steve?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Bobby? Bobby's drinking. He's wavy.
Howdy.
He's sipping his coffee as per
Yes,
usual.
No.
Hey, I
Damn.
just like to give a shout out to whoever is putting graffiti on train cars.
Dude, that is so funny you say that. I was at Kroger's, by the train tracks,
Uh-huh.
and I was sitting there. I just got in, and I was sitting there, and I was like, well, I ain't going nowhere.
That's
so I'm
what
sitting
I
there
was
just
doing.
watching the train go by.
Was that
and I
today?
was like, no, it was like 2 days ago or yesterday. And I was like, man, that's some really nice work. I
Dude,
was like, they did that with a spray can?
I did that today, and I'm just like, I was sitting there, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of graffiti. And then I started counting all the train cars to see if there was one without graffiti. There were two, and it was a long-ass fucking train. But that was only one side of the train car I was seeing, so there could have been graffiti on the other side. I was just like, damn, I have mad props to whoever is out there fucking spraying these train cars.
Nice
Like,
work, man. Nice work.
Every single one.
The only ones that didn't have them, because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, my God. I mean, it's like, these people got money for spray paint?
No, they steal it.
It's like $6 a fucking can.
But I mean, that's advertising right there for your.
But did you understand? I was trying to read them. Like, there were words I never seen. It was like gibberish.
Yeah, I think you have to
It was
be
like
in
Nole
gang.
and Sugu, and I was like, I don't know what this shit means.
Yeah,
Dude, I saw some graffiti. It said Quizardo. I was like,
Yeah.
Quizardo.
Quizardo.
Oh, Bizarro.
That's quesarito, bitch.
I thought you said Bizarro. Okay, I got it.
Quizardo.
Quizardo.
I was just impressed
Say
with
it right.
whoever is doing that, because somebody is going to these train yards and they're like, I'm going to get every last one of these. They're like, oh, what is a new train car? Let me get that.
Is it all just tags, or is anybody like? Do you see a Spider-Man in there or anything cool?
Nah, it's just pretty
Yeah.
much tags.
Yeah.
Word. Okay.
They
That's
need that.
so
They need
funny.
those. They need those trains. Need the machines like in Demolition Man, where they pop up and erase the graffiti.
Yeah.
Dude, that is hilarious. I mean, that was literally 2 days ago.
I was just
sitting there
stuck in
looking at it.
traffic today.
Yeah.
I'm behind a train. I'm like, oh, here we go.
It was probably during COVID. They just went crazy.
Like,
Had nothing else to do.
I'm bored.
What else? Oh, okay. I gotta share this with the Memphis folks. So I think I mentioned last week I'm going to come down for the Memphis Comic Expo down in September. I think it is. And they've only announced two guests. First guest was Kevin Eastman. They announced a new guest like today. It's Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
The guy who created Preacher and The Boys and who's written the best Punisher stories of all time. He's like my favorite comic book writer. So they are 2 for 2 with their guests down there.
So you're definitely
coming down.
okay. I was gonna say you're definitely coming down to Memphis now.
I got it. I was going to anyway. Like Kevin Eastman's a big enough name for me. I can't wait to see who else they get. Like, I mean, obviously not everybody's going to be somebody I'm a fan of or even recognize necessarily, but man, two just fucking hitting them out of the park, in my opinion.
Memphis is on the map.
It's just a comic expo. Don't get too excited.
Come on. Hey, that small steps, it builds to something else.
So yeah, that was exciting news. What else? Any new trailers? Anybody go see Avatar?
We watched Avatar together as a family, the first one.
How'd that go?
That was good. The kids liked it. I enjoyed it. Kristen was like, "Is this over yet?" But yeah,
The kids sat through the whole thing.
It's not horrible, dude. When she's got, I forget her name, the girl Navi, Natiri, dude. When she's holding him in her arms at the end, and she's like,
he's like a baby.
yeah, she's like my little Jake. And I'm like, ah, that's the most heartbreaking thing ever.
Heartbreak. I thought it looked goofy as hell.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was cute. She's like my Jake. And then that whole scene, that battle with the bot at the end, that was with the mech. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, dude. There's tons of visual eye candy in there, man. Like that's exactly what the movie is. It probably looked great on your giant screen, filled the whole thing up. But it's a fine story. It is. It's totally adequate. It's just, to me, I'm like, this is not everybody in the world should go see this kind of movie. I'm just still very confused on that aspect of it. You know, it's a very middle of the road kind of story. Nothing bad, nothing great. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know, and it looks amazing. It does look great, but
you're just like, how does it, how does
this translate to everybody? And again, and it's mostly people outside of America, because in America, I think it's in the top 5. I don't think it's number 1 is still The Force Awakens. Endgame is ahead of it over here. So at least over here, there's a little bit of sense left. But worldwide, they just fucking lose their fucking minds over this shit. And that's what bumps it up, because worldwide it become, obviously the American total contributes to that too, but at least it's not number 1 domestically.
Yeah.
At least we have that saving grace. But and again, I don't hate it. I really don't. I kind of did for a while, but I think that was just me being reactionary to the fact that it was the biggest, the highest grossing movie of all time. Even though technically, from what I understand, Gone with the Wind is the most, is like the most attended, like the most tickets sold. Most people actually saw Gone with the Wind supposedly, but they had no way of really tracking that. And again, if you look at tickets sold, like number 2 is Star Wars. It's not. It has to do with inflation and prices and stuff like that. So, how much a movie makes is not necessarily commensurate with how many people actually saw it. And obviously, everybody's going to see this in 3D. They're going to the higher end theaters. They're going to the more expensive theaters. So that's going to buff your total as well.
Yeah, and I plan on I want to go to, if Rob's going to go with me, I think, to the IMAX, if it's still in IMAX, the second one. That's why I want
IMAX.
What? What is that, Rob?
I don't think I want to see it in IMAX.
That's the only way to see it, is on the biggest screen. Yeah. 3D. You gotta have 3D.
And yeah, 3D I get, but IMAX, my head hurts from
IMAX 3D. Yeah,
you got that? Where's that at?
That's why I want to see, because if I saw just the big screen, then I could just wait till I see it at my house.
You want to see it in 3D?
Yeah.
Yeah. IMAX 3D.
3D IMAX.
Oh boy.
Yeah, to me that's the only reason to see it. I think that's how most people feel, because most people are
like a $30 ticket.
Yeah, that's why it's the highest grossing movie.
I can't get any popcorn. I'd rather go see. I'd rather go see what's the Gerard Butler one? Plane. I'd rather go see that for $8 and then get me some popcorn.
There's a movie called Plane.
I don't know what it's called.
Are you serious?
It's called Plane?
No, it's just called Plane. Okay. Like, didn't Liam Neeson have Flight? This one is the same movie, only it's called Plane with Gerard Butler.
I thought that was a Denzel Washington movie.
Flight. Oh, I don't know. I thought that was Flight something, like a number.
Is Hervé Villechaize in Plane?
He's talking about
that's a
fantasy.
That's for us old people. The plane.
Oh, that's who that was? What's his name?
Hervé Villechaize, I think.
Oh, wow. How do you know that name? That's crazy.
Because I couldn't remember Kirsten Dunst's names yesterday, so I have no idea why I remember that.
So wait, Rob, do you not want to go with us then? Because we're going this Saturday, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
It's a commitment. It is. It's a financial commitment. It's a time commitment. Like it's an ordeal, man.
The kids loved it, So, and this one's even longer than the first one. So I'm like,
fantastic. That's when I saw the first one, I was like, if this was just longer, I think I would enjoy it more. If it was just a longer movie, that would make it better. That was my first thought when I left the theater. Just a little bit longer, a little bit more of this poorly designed cat people. That's the thing for me, is like the design of the main characters to me just looks like a Pixar movie.
Yeah, they don't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I mean, they're freaky, freaky creatures from another world.
They just look goofy. They look goofy. Like They look goofy the same way the Mars Attacks aliens look goofy. So that's intentional. And I think this one, they're not supposed to look that goofy, but they look goofy to me.
What did they used to say? Whack, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to see it this Saturday. My little Jake.
I am glad somebody.
My little Jake.
Somebody I know is finally going to go see this fucking movie. I tried to get my friend Mark to go because he liked the first one, but he also said that he was like high as a kite when he saw it. But he was
that's even better.
He rewatched it recently, and he was like, "What the fuck, man?" So I was hoping he would be excited to go see it. He was not, so we never went and saw it. We're probably not going to go see it, and that's it. That's the only person I know up here who might have even a slight interest in going to see Avatar.
Man, I only saw one movie high, and it was Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and goddamn, it was the greatest experience of my life. And I was like the third row from the screen, so I was like, it was everything right in front of me. It was,
dude, when I watched
overwhelming.
When I watched Dune the second time, that was the Denis Villeneuve Dune, not the David Lynch one. When I watched it the second time, it was the greatest movie I ever saw because I had an edible and I was like this, and like everything hit different, like audio and everything too. The music sounded amazing, the sound effects, and I was so immersed. I was just like, yes, I want to go live on Arrakis. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah, movies, music.
Hans Zimmer does have great scores for movies though, so
yeah,
and he did the score for Dune. Yeah, it can absolutely enhance your experience. I finally watched Grandma's Boy in that state, and man, I always thought that movie was hilarious, but holy shit, that is the funniest movie I've ever seen. Now, it is. Wow.
Now you see why Bub always suggesting it to you.
So right, but no, I mean I'd seen it a million times, but just never under the influence. Man, it just elevates it even higher. No pun intended.
When's that second part of Dune come out?
I think isn't it this year? I think it's supposed to be this year.
Have they started filming it yet?
I don't know.
Let me double check. Maybe it's next year.
I think so.
Because I
don't think they've started filming yet.
I'm with you guys. I really enjoyed that first part.
All right. But yeah, it's supposed to be out November 3rd. So it's supposed to be out this year. I might go to the theater to see that one. So
Dune? They're going to put it on the theater?
So, well, yeah, it's not. It was COVID last time. So,
oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah. That's the only reason it was.
For HBO Max.
No, that was the year that Warner Brothers put all their theatrical releases on HBO Max. So, and then they bumped Batman to the next year, so they didn't have to do that. But that's why Wonder Woman 84, Dune, The Matrix, all those were on HBO Max and not in the theater.
The Justice League redo?
Well, that was never going to hit the theater, from what I understand.
Oh, I thought they were going to release it.
Yeah, no, that was always intended for HBO Max.
No.
Imagine, like you go back due to fan demand. I'm using air quotes here. Fan demand being like 13 people on Twitter with 37,000 accounts, saying we need this movie, and then it comes out. I just got disconnected, reconnected. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Anyway,
you're still going.
Anyway,
it's my fault.
No, it's not your fault. When it's your fault, I'll let you know. But with the what I forgot what I've derailed. Completely derailed.
You were bashing. It was that part of the podcast
the Justice
where we bashed Zack Snyder.
So you spend all this money on reshoots, only for those exact same people to be like, it was amazing, and everybody else to just be like, that was terrible. I think that was worse than the original version. You know what I mean? Like that's what they did basically.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they made any money on it. They put it on HBO Max. How many people went and signed up for HBO Max to watch fucking Justice League Zack Snyder cut? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know anybody in that group.
No.
Like, yeah. It's like, I can't imagine putting that much money in. And then, like, I just feel like there's no return on that. And it was so bad that they were like, yeah, let's just end the Zack Snyderverse. Actually, it turns out that was a terrible idea. Let's get this other guy in here. Maybe he can right the ship.
That was the last straw too. that was it.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
No,
well, I think Black Adam, but
no,
Black Adam's
they got new leadership. Discovery bought it. That's what did it. They got rid of the old
But
leaders.
no, but the thing they didn't put Peter Safran and James Gunn on until fairly recently. Like that, you're right about the Discovery thing. I'm not disputing. You're absolutely right about that. But they knew they had to do something because their DC movies weren't seeing the returns that Marvel is, and it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense that like how can they not get the returns when Marvel doesn't even own. Oh, there goes my earbud. Man, I'm just falling apart over here. Marvel doesn't even own like they don't even own Spider. They don't own their biggest character cinematically. DC owns every single Warner Brothers owns every single DC property, every single character, and they can't churn out something, a cohesive universe or whatever they're trying to do. It doesn't have to be, but and then Aquaman is your biggest success when you have Batman and Superman as like, you know what I mean? Like, how does Aquaman become your highest grossing movie?
Yeah, but it made $1 billion, man. People are turning out like Avatar.
It makes no sense. Maybe it's this time of year. Maybe there's something. Maybe there's some Christmas magic there. Maybe because they used to put the Star Wars movies out in May every year, right? Because that's like when the originals come out, or they come out in the summertime anyway. Maybe not necessarily May, but I believe the prequel trilogy all came out around the end of May. Feel free to fact check me on that. And then I think I can't remember. I think it was with Force Awakens. They started putting them out in December. So maybe that is a bigger opening, bigger time of year than summer even. The summer blockbusters. Put it at the end of the year.
Maybe you got family in town, so everybody wants to do something together.
Yeah, everybody has time off and
time off, yeah.
But I mean, people are off in the summer too, but usually just kids and teachers. So yeah, maybe that's why they moved the Star Wars movies to December. Makes you think.
They don't need any more money.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Star Wars, Bad Batch, yeah. Rob,
haven't watched.
Yeah, I watched it. It's okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it better than the other ones. Last season.
Yeah, maybe.
No.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll see.
Okay.
It's one day. Okay. I mean, they do the same thing every week. It's not like.
Yeah, it's definitely geared towards kids. It really is. It's more of that, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I'm not the target market. I'll watch it one day when I'm really desperate for new Star Wars content. But I think Mandalorian is in March, or is it February? Pretty soon. I think maybe it's March. Coming up is it March? Okay, so we got Mandalorian season 3. So I'll obviously that's a day one watch. What else? I don't know.
I thought the first 2 episodes of Bad Batch were pretty epic. I thought there were some high stakes in them first 2 episodes.
I don't know about epic, but it was okay.
Yeah, you got what's her nuts using her bow. She's got her lightsaber bow. She's getting good with that.
Dude, cool. Watch some DC animation if you want some.
Oh my god!
Right? Seriously,
DC animation
I will
on
back
HBO.
Rob on that.
All right, we already bashed Zack Snyder. Now it's Steve watches DC animation. It's that part. All right, what's next?
I don't understand.
Wait! We gotta get
the resistance. What is the resistance to watching something that we both agree is really good?
I'm not saying I'm not going to. I'm just saying the Bad Batch was fine.
Your kids are all I said.
Didn't I buy you like 3 Blu-rays of DC animated movies?
Yeah, I watched Dark Knight Returns. I watched Dark Knight Returns, and then I watched The Flashpoint. And then
I don't think I bought you that one. I didn't buy that. I bought you like
Killing Joke. You bought me the Killing Joke. I watched
Killing Joke, Dark Knight Returns, and I think I got you Under the Hood.
No, you got me Year One.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were good.
That makes sense. Good. But yeah, there's lots more on HBO Max though until they take them off of there anyway.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what's going on with this Discover HBO thing, but it sounds like they want to gut a lot of stuff.
I watched the Green Lantern, the one we were talking about.
The series?
Yeah, it's only 1 season.
Yeah.
and I was reading about it because I was like, what happened? And because it, like, critics loved it, I loved it, I liked it the second time I watched it. Molly liked it.
Who was the Green Lantern?
Hal
Which
Jordan.
one?
It's
Hal
Hal.
Jordan. Okay.
Well, it's the core though.
It was
he's the main
Bruce
one,
Timm. Bruce Timm executive produced it. It was a really good show, and I was like, why didn't they continue with that?
Nobody watched.
It was the same year Green Lantern the movie was released.
There you
And
go.
they said, I was reading, it was like, that probably had a lot to do with it. Everybody was like, ooh, Green Lantern. Ugh.
So they were turned off from the movie, so they didn't watch
so.
the show?
I think so. Yeah. That's what it sounded like, because it's good animation. It's a good story. Good character.
I've seen worse superhero movies than that.
Yeah, but it was not good.
I wonder how that one did at the box office.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good. Yeah.
Not good.
That's
the
consensus,
worst ending.
Not good.
Villain looking cloud dust. It was like it was like the Hulk. It was like they didn't learn anything from the Hulk with
Parallax.
With Parallax was like when they remember what was the Hulk, not the DC one or not the Marvel one, but the Ang Lee one.
Oh yeah, the lightning storm guy.
It was like, what the hell is going on? I was like, what?
You didn't enjoy watching the Hulk fight clouds?
Yeah.
That was exciting for you. Punching the sky.
So weird.
Yeah.
You want to hear something bizarre? So we're driving home from dinner last night, and I had what was it? The oldies station was on, and they were playing.
Wait, what is oldies now? Because oldies
WHBQ 107.5.
No, but I mean, what era? 50s?
80s,
is that oldies?
80s, 90s.
Okay. So 80s, 90s is oldies now. Okay.
Yeah. So if we could build this dream, and I was like, oh, who is that? And I was like, that's I was talking to Molly. I was like, Starship, and I was like, it's Jefferson. No, Starship. It was Starship. And then I was like, wait a minute. I think that was in a movie. What movie was that in?
Mannequin.
So I'm driving. Mannequin. And I said, that's what I said. I was like, Mannequin. And I was like, why the fuck do I know this? That's what's sad.
I was right. I don't think I've ever seen Mannequin. However,
Molly can remember.
Jefferson Starship is the name. I think they were Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah, but they
Jefferson Starship.
Later on,
they dropped the Jefferson.
They became Starship. Yeah, they got kind of popular.
If we can build this thing together, stand strong forever.
And I remembered it was Mannequin. I was like, why do I know this? I couldn't remember what I did yesterday.
I used to watch the shit out of that because I had the hots for, what's her name? Kim Cattrall? Was that who that was?
Yeah, that's who that was.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really wanted to be with that mannequin.
And he made it happen years later, guys. He bought a mannequin,
yes,
put a Kim Cattrall wig on it. It was very uncomfortable,
yes,
but he achieved his dream.
She's right here, actually.
For some reason, he put her in her Star Trek outfit, but that's what he wanted to do.
You got to role play sometimes. Keep it spicy.
Hey, somebody wants to buy my house. I just got a text.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
Counter offer $1 million. Just say $1 million to see if they buy.
$1 million.
No. What the correct answer is reply stop.
I have to do that on eBay. I'm sure I've told you guys this before, but like when I'm selling stuff on eBay, and I've stopped since I pretty much just stopped taking offers. I've taken offers off there because they're ridiculous, or I'll put a threshold for what I even get notified about as far as offers go. But I'll put an item on there, and let's say I have an asking price of $100, and somebody will offer me $5. Well, you have the option to counter offer, so I will always counter offer with $1 million, because if you're going to be a moron, I'm going to be a moron. Like what? Wow. Now, at least be real. When I make offers on there, my first offer is generally 20 to 25% less than asking price. You know what I mean? That's generally a start. I've never gone in there and been like, I'm going to ask for 95% off. I think I got this.
Can they give you negative feedback because they don't like? Okay.
No.
They have to buy something.
You can only, you have to actually have a transaction. So yeah, And I mean, it's probably just trolling, but it's just absurd. It's like, why are you even bothering with this? You know, why would you offer me $5 for something that, like, it's just so dumb. So that's all my like $1 million.
It's not probably just trolling. It is trolling.
Very wishful thinking or something. Yeah. But I'm like, you know what? $1 million. Hit that accept button and then pay me. Fuck you, pay me.
Maybe one day somebody will accidentally hit accept.
Right.
Maybe that's what he's thinking.
And maybe it's happened. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Who knows?
Yeah, I'll usually go in like, I don't know, $10 cheaper usually. I try and get like the shipping costs. Like,
okay.
If I can, and
well, I try to start low. I try to give because you'll be sometimes I've gotten as much as 25% off, and then I'm like, shit, I should have tried for 30%. You know, like I don't know what they're actually willing to do.
Should have hit $5.
Yeah, should have went for $5.
Somebody very desperate on the other end. I'll take $5 for it. Fuck it. You never know.
Hey, I watched that thing on HBO you told me to watch.
What's that? I don't remember. I don't remember anything.
This place.
I introduced the podcast as Steve reads a podcast. I'm not doing well in the old mental faculties.
This place rules.
Oh yeah.
January 6th.
Did you watch that?
Lead up.
I watched it.
It was very funny, but also makes you also angry. But it was also very like that kid. It was produced by Tim and Eric.
Yeah, so, I saw that. I saw Heidecker and what's the other guy's name?
Eric Wareheim.
Yeah. Dude, when they showed that family and those kids, I felt so bad for those kids, man.
Oh,
I was
my
like,
God. How could you not?
I was like, I'm sorry those are your parents, man. Like, I'm sorry, dude.
And those kids, and dude, I felt like that. It reminded me of growing up in the church, and you're just spouting all this stuff that they're pouring into your brain, and you're just spouting it like it's fact, and you believe it.
Yeah.
Because your parents said it to you, you know?
Yeah, and that kid.
They're just rattling it off more coherently than Donald Trump, I should say.
Right.
And it was,
they're just rattling off QAnon shit, and then they're talking about, like, the one kid was like, we don't have any friends or something like that. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. I was like, dude, just kill your parents.
Run away.
Kill your parents. Kill your parents. Think for yourself.
Sounded like when they went back to him at the end, it sounded like maybe they were realizing
there was some changes there. Yeah. There was definitely a change. I mean,
which was good to see. Yeah. I guess I don't know until the next thing comes along.
Yeah, there was change, but nobody ever admits they were fucking wrong, which drives me crazy. Just say, we got duped. You know?
Yeah.
Just say we fucked up.
Yeah.
Nobody
wants to
will ever
do that.
Because that's what Trump taught everyone, that you don't have to say you fucked up. You can get away with it. Problem is you
money.
Can't. Exactly.
You got to have money.
Problem is you got to have money. Yep. Look at Dana White. He just punched his wife. He slapped his wife, and nobody's saying shit about it.
I didn't even know it happened.
The one thing that so he was talking to the one extremist guy with his podcast. He was one of those pushing the, Hillary Clinton is a blood drinking pedophile.
Oh, the pedophile.
And then at the very end, he confronts him. He's like, 12 years ago or 15 years ago, and he has this whole report. He's like, you were convicted of sexually assaulting an 8-year-old boy.
You're on the sex offenders list.
Yeah, and he's like, false conviction. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then he asked him. He's literally said, like, he's like, have you ever heard of projection? Like, do you know what projection is?
Yeah.
And that's something, we've been saying for years. Like, these people are projecting what they're doing. They're saying what they're doing and saying it about Democrats because they know it's wrong. They know pedophilia is wrong. And so they're saying that the whole Democratic Party and Hillary Clinton, and he's just showing him pictures of Jonah Hill, just people in Hollywood. He's like, pedophile. It turns out, oh no, you're the pedophile. It turns out you're actually convicted of being a fucking sexually assaulting an 8-year-old boy.
Convicted.
Right.
Not even
convicted, not accused.
Allegedly.
Right. Like, convicted.
On the list.
And he's just like, false conviction. Like, was it though?
And then they get a shot of him just steaming off. You get a shot from him walking away. It's like
I rewinded it when he was walking away. I'm like, look at the gait on this dude. This dude is such a badass, and he walks like a goofball. Like he had this gimpy ass walk. His pants are pulled up way too high in the back, and I was just like, wow. And I felt bad for him, which is really weird. But in that moment, I was like, this guy is living some weird fantasy. He does not have any self-awareness whatsoever.
It was interesting to see it, you know, like he had been documenting this stuff for quite a while, you know, and you can see the slow progression of everything getting worse and worse and worse until, you know, it culminates with the gallows.
Dude, the Alex Jones stuff was wild too, man.
Yeah,
seeing like he interviews Alex Jones. Apparently, he actually went on Infowars. The kid, I can't remember the kid's name. I'm sorry, but it's a documentary. It's on HBO Max. It's called "This Place Rules." It's a young kid who making this documentary, and he goes and talks to Alex Jones. He has a lot of footage of Alex. Then he has like behind the scenes footage. Him and Alex Jones working out shirtless, drinking liquor and they're working out together. It's hilarious because it's just like, yeah, this guy's just he's a fucking idiot too.
And then he does everything to incite a riot, and then once it happens, you know, he wants no part, like no responsibility whatsoever. It's like, you do understand people listen to you and follow you, right?
That's insane to me that like they I don't think they truly understand their influence. Like he gives this heated fucking fired up speech, you know, like this fucking Independence Day level speech. Also, I've never heard the word globalist so many times in my fucking life. But anyway, I had to look it up. I'm like, what the fuck even is a globalist? What does that even mean?
Usually when you hear globalist, then shortly thereafter, someone will say Zionist as well.
Oh, nice. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah. But yeah, he goes and fires up this crowd, and then he's like, yeah, I had nothing to do with that, basically. You know, like, what? Like, we have footage. We have the footage. Like, you did it. You did it.
No accountability whatsoever, man. It just drives me crazy, man, how none of these people can just say, man, yeah, I totally fucked up.
And that, man, they really believe these theories. That's the other part that makes me sad. And I'm like, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to be more understanding.
It's a religion. Just think of it as a religion. It's easy.
Even that though, I don't get the why behind it. I just like, what are you after?
Because they're
this is what you land on as your belief system. Like I don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean, I think they just know where their bread is buttered, dude, and they don't want to admit, because these followers give him money.
Followers? Or are you talking about the?
I'm talking about the followers give him money, so he knows.
No, I think Alex Jones believes that shit. I don't think I think he actually believes a lot of the shit he's peddling, dude. I'm not saying all of it, but I think he believes a lot of those conspiracy theories.
Money.
Because, dude, can you be such a terrible person that you peddle this stuff and have zero belief in it? That's even worse to me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's one thing to get up there. I mean, but I guess you're right, though, Rob, because again, comparing it to religion, you've had plenty of preachers go up there, say one thing, do the opposite. So I guess it is possible. It absolutely is possible.
And to me, the preacher thing's worse because they're doing it in the name of God, you know. And as for Alex Jones, he's just throwing shit around, you know. He ain't saying.
I think Alex Jones stuff is worse because it's like actually affecting reality. Like religion is completely made up. And whereas what he's saying, he's like, people actually went and attacked the Capitol. People were shot. People, you know, had heart attacks and stuff. Like, people died directly because of that. And that's what it's. I mean, but then go back to what you're saying about religion, though. You also have. I guess I'm only thinking of like white Christian religion. You do also have fucking people crashing planes into buildings.
Yes.
So it's like it's all bad. It's all bad. It's all bad.
I think. I mean, when you have the ability to use gullible people, I mean, you can get away with a lot of stuff, you know?
Oh, man. But it crashes down eventually. It has to, because it literally is a house of cards.
Yeah, it crashes down, and then they just deny it. Yeah. They're just like, wasn't me.
It crashes down, but look at the House of Representatives now. They're freaking, those nut shows are running it, basically.
There are repercussions. There are real world repercussions. The extremists are in charge. You know, they're running the House now.
It's insane.
You
got 20 idiots, basically,
Yeah.
are going to hold every good part of legislation up.
Yep.
Did McCarthy ever become speaker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah,
It was
but
just
he
like,
every consent.
But he sold his soul to the extremists to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking
Like
about?
Jim Jordan is on the Rules House Committee, which determines like everything. And it's all messed up, man.
And everybody got one hand job from
Yeah.
Kevin McCarthy.
Yep.
That was the last concession.
It sounds like a movie title.
Yeah, that was interesting, but like the funniest part to me was when he picked up his nephew and he bought him a suit like his.
Oh, I didn't even know. I
You
literally
didn't see that?
I haven't seen any of it. The only reason I'm aware of it is because Logan is still heavily into politics. I am literally
I'm talking
trying to
about
remove myself
We the
from
People, the doc.
I thought you were talking about
yeah.
Kevin McCarthy.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't transition.
I was like, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the documentary. Oh man, we should know his name. I'm sorry, I don't know it either.
He picked up his nephew and got him a custom made suit just like his.
One that was way too big.
Yeah.
And
he was like, "Don't take him anywhere. It could be dangerous." And he's just like, he's driving the bus.
I am like, I'm with you, Sean. Like, it's informative, but at the same time, it just makes me angry watching that shit. You know?
Yeah, like the new. I've stayed like political articles for the most part. I'm probably down to like 5% of where I was, and again, because it wasn't informing me, it wasn't enhancing my life. It was just making me angry. The latest, but then I did see like Biden's out there leaving classified shit everywhere. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
See that happening.
This should not be an issue with any president. But I can't help but speculate that the difference is, Trump had ill intent with the classified information, whereas Biden is just, has dementia, and he just where did I put that? You know what I mean? It just seems more innocuous with him. Now, I'm just speculating. This is not investigated. This is not anything I've read. But it just, when you have one guy who's like buddying up with fucking the leader of North Korea and Vladimir Putin and stuff, and then you have this other guy who can't fucking get off a bike properly, it just seems like one of them might be slightly more innocent in that scenario. But at the same time, neither one should be off the hook for that shit. You can't just fucking, if it's truly classified information, what the fuck are you doing?
Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole.
But at least Biden said, "Here, go for it. Look for some more."
I mean,
he didn't say no. You can't have it,
right? He's not fighting it.
Yeah,
and truthfully, it probably is more of a nothing burger, whatever they call it. But still, it's also like, dude, it just what are you doing? You can't do the same shit that everybody's jumping on the other guy for, and then you do the same fucking shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, fucking idiot.
Oh, that was who they put forth for the Democratic Party. We're like, thanks.
So think about this. We watched that. We all just watched that documentary about January 6th. So that was what? How many years ago? A year ago? Whatever.
2 years. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So we have all these investigations. We got all this crap. So what happens? Guess what? The clock runs out because the House of Representatives goes to Republicans. So basically, all that shit that happened, most of those people won't get any. There's no consequences for anything.
I blame fucking Merrick Garland though. Like it's very strange to me that he's not following up on this stuff. Obviously, this committee was pointless. We knew that from the get-go. I said that from the beginning. Congressional committees are fucking pointless. But when they turn up all this stuff, we have an attorney general. That's literally his fucking job. What the fuck is he doing? And that just leads me back to my whole thing.
Well,
Democrats and Republicans are all in somebody's pocket. They're all getting paid to fucking just keep it status quo. It's like fucking bullshit, dude.
Well, they've gone after the little guys, like the people that walked into the building and broke windows and shit. But the ones that stirred the shit up, that really... Like
the instigators, exactly. The leaders
those
of the
are
rabble,
what they didn't do anything about. Those are
arresting the rabble, and the leaders are walking away. Basically, the people who fucking the people who instigated this whole thing with their podcasts or the president or whoever. they're just like, whatever. Right. Fine, I guess.
And, they're just winding out. That's all they were doing this whole time was winding the clock out. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like Trump. We'll file a motion for this. We'll file a motion for that. We can't. We got to delay this. It's just tactics, man. And then eventually the clock runs out. Same thing. Like every day you read something. Oh, they released Trump tax returns. We already knew all about that shit. What's the big fucking deal? We know what's going on. He's not the only one doing it. They all fucking do it. You know what I mean? It's like nothing's going to happen. I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You got to get the people to get on the same page. That's the only way. You got to get the people.
But it's not about the people, though. It's the people in charge are not holding their own accountable is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be held accountable in the end. Because they're all probably doing shady shit.
No, I'm saying we, the people, have to hold them accountable. Yeah. But we're not on the same page is what I'm saying. We have to be on the same page.
Half the people don't even fucking vote. So, I mean, what are you going to
do? Yeah.
I mean, dude, Mississippi has more African Americans than whites. Why does white people run that fucking state? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They still don't have water in Jackson. It's just fucking ridiculous.
It's why? The globalists.
Yeah, globalists.
Fucking globalists.
Well, no, it's simple. It's ridiculous. So we got rid of one old white guy for president only to vote another old white guy in the establishment in.
Right. We're super progressive. I don't know if you saw this, but
right.
There's like black people in movies now. So
wow.
We're pretty much there's been 2 Black Panther movies, so I don't know what your problem is. We're very progressive as a country.
It's just ridiculous.
We've come a long way.
Jesus Christ.
We need the Dark Knight to take care of everything. We need
another old rich white man. Is that what we need, Steve? Is he gonna fix it?
Yeah. Now that I said that, I'm thinking about it. Probably not. The hero we need. What was it? What's that line in that movie?
Yeah, not the hero we need, but the hero we deserve, but not the one we need, or vice versa.
That's what I was trying to get at, but I fucked it all up. Steve.
Well, it's Steve Reads a Podcast. That's what we do. What else is going on? Hey, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow by choice.
Nice
because
job.
I'm tired.
You have to leave the house to go to the doctor, right?
Yeah, trust me, I know. Well, that's not always true. They do FaceTime too.
You can do teledoc too. You can just call them.
Yeah. No, I've been fed. I'm going to a new doctor again, trying out somebody new. I can't seem to get the help I need or want. And I don't know if I'm not expressing myself or making my needs clear or what. But like when I went in last time, again, a new doctor, I was telling her about anxiety, depression, insomnia. So she gave me Zoloft. All Zoloft did was remove all my desire to jerk off. And then literally...
That's good, right?
It is good. Catholic. So, but no, I mean, it frees up a lot of time.
No, I'm just, I was going to say, when you do it 7 times a day, I mean, that's right.
He finished 3 chapters in his book last week.
Right. It's a world of difference. Like, and I do it, like, I only, I stopped doing it during the podcast. It was great. But, it did this good literally, these are the effects I noticed. I literally just, and it was very strange because it was just like, I had no desire to take care of myself in that regard. Trying not to gross everyone out. But the other thing that will also gross you out possibly is when I would go to have relations with my wife.
Get biblical.
I could not finish. It was like whiskey dick. It was just like, pounded away to no resolution. Ad infinitum. And again, when you think about the fact that I hadn't been taking care of myself, that's pretty insane. It's one thing, if you go in and you're like, I did jerk off 10 minutes ago. But when you haven't jerked off for like 2 weeks, it's like, what is happening? I stopped taking the Zoloft. Zoloft will break your dick. Do not take Zoloft. In my case, I shouldn't say. I'm not a doctor. Don't take Zoloft.
Lots of guys are hearing this and they're like, Zoloft sounds like the perfect thing for me.
So What's more depressing, that or depression?
Exactly. And I told Maggie, I was like, and I talked to Steve about it too, on the phone, but I was like, this is actually giving me more anxiety
Right.
than I had before.
What I don't understand.
Like, I was like, so I stopped taking, this was a while ago. I think I took it for about 6 weeks, somewhere between like 6 and 8 weeks or something. And I was like, I don't like it. And then the other thing she gave me was basically, because I was telling her about the insomnia, and she tried to do this whole holistic approach. And I felt like saying, I am 46 years old. I've tried dietary changes. I've tried exercise. I used to work a job where I'd be at work anywhere from 10 to 16 hours a day, and I would still come home and not be able to get to sleep. So I don't think exercise is going to help me here. And I've tried exercise, and I do need to exercise. But then I was telling her, I was like, it's also hard to go to the gym when you're always fucking tired. When you're just always exhausted, it's hard to get that motivation to go. And, and I'm just talking about doing cardio. I'm not talking about bulking up, but all that kind of stuff. So I finally the other day, or this maybe I think it was this morning. It all runs together when you're an insomniac. But I went in and I was just like, I got to find somebody else. And I started writing stuff down in my app, in my notes app. I was just like, I got to remember to bring this up and this up and this up, make clear what my issues are, what I have tried. Please just fucking help me get some goddamn, I want to get more than 6 hours of sleep one time a week, baby. Like more than 5 or 6 hours of sleep would be great. And uninterrupted would be great too. Because it would also be great if during that 5 or 6 hours, that if I didn't get woken up multiple times by just random things, because I'm such a light fucking sleeper.
And you got the sleep machine too, right?
I have the CPAP. I use it religiously I brought it down to Memphis when I was staying at your house, right? Like I use the fuck out of that thing.
You need to add that with Ambien.
So, well, and that I've heard of, I'm scared of Ambien because I've heard a lot of horror stories about people doing stuff in their sleep on that stuff, and I don't know about that.
Stay off the internet.
It's stay off the internet.
Yeah, don't shop while you're doing
I've heard like bad stories of like stuff like that, but yeah, I've heard some stories that kind of. But it's a discussion I'm going to have with my doctor, and hopefully we can find some treatments that actually work. I want to get solid sleep. I want to sleep through the night. I want to wake up and feel like I've slept, not wake up and feel, and just be instantly tired all the fucking time, which just impacts everything. It makes sure. And I read all this too about insomnia. That doesn't do shit for me. Rob's whole life is coffee. And trust me, I've tried a lot of stuff.
I believe you.
I've tried a lot of stuff. It's not particularly helpful when you're just always exhausted, but it might give you a jolt for 15 minutes or a half hour or so or something. Caffeine stopped working for me years ago, if it ever worked for me. But yeah, I just want to not feel like this all the time. And I started, I was reading about insomnia because I only recently realized I had insomnia. I've had it for God knows how long, as far back as I can remember. But again, I always thought insomnia meant you like literally would just stay up all night. But insomnia is literally, there's at least 2 different kinds. And I have both of them, which is trouble falling asleep, trouble staying asleep, trouble getting back to sleep, and all that stuff. So I have all that. And I just want to get to a point where I could just sleep, feel rested.
She's going to prescribe Zoloft again.
I'm going to tell her. Dude, I'm an open book when I go in there. I tell them as much information as I can. That's why I don't understand why I'm not getting the help. I don't just clam up and sit there and be like, I'm okay. No, I fucking dump all over them. I fucking tell them every single thing, what's going through my head, how it's impacting me. But anyway, insomnia impacts so much. It impacts your risk for heart disease goes up by a huge amount. Hello, I've had 2 heart attacks. Depression, anxiety, high blood pressure. Every time I get my blood pressure taken, it's always like, it's typically like right over the line. Like, and they'll take it again, and then it like dips right below, so they're okay with it. But it's like, it's clear that I'm having some blood pressure issues. It's not super high, but it's like they don't even want to address it. So I'm going to bring that up. Like, I clearly have high blood pressure. High blood pressure is also related to insomnia. And they're talking about you have like a 97% risk of dying early when you have insomnia. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Jeez, that's like, high. That's really high.
Yeah, it's like,
holy shit.
Like, there's all these things that are, that go with this. And I'm just like, if I could just feel rested, I feel like I could accomplish more, be more motivated. not always be in a foggy haze. It affects your memory, which my memory is shit. Like it affects just so many aspects of your life. And I'm going to get it dealt with. Basically, I'm not trying to turn this into a therapy podcast, but
I'll have my mom put you on the prayer list. sounds like they're going to give you a different variety of medications until they find what works. But then,
the last one barely wanted to give me anything. Like she gave me another thing that was supposed to help. She's like, take this if you're feeling anxious and you're having trouble getting to sleep. You know what it was? You know what it is? It's like it's an antihistamine. It's basically Benadryl, and I've tried it. It doesn't do shit.
Take some NyQuil.
Yeah, like I'm like I need hardcore shit, and I feel like when they hear me say, like, hey, what about Xanax? What about this or that? And they're like, oh, this guy just wants drugs. No, I want to fucking sleep. I just want to sleep.
It sounds like a job for fentanyl.
Right. Like, but I just never feel heard when I go into the doctor, and they're always talking about advocate for yourself. I'm advocating like a motherfucker, but I don't know what else to do. I can't sleep. It's affecting my life, my health. Makes me irritable. Like, Maggie's upset because I'll take a nap in the middle of the day, like, and I shouldn't need to. And then I'm like, oh man, I napped. Like I'm probably going to stay up all night. I stay up all night either way. Cause like, if I don't take a nap, I spend most of the day, like in a haze. And then around 7:00, I can't go to sleep. Like, it's so weird. But if I do take, like, so I've tried both. I've tried napping. I've tried not napping. I still can't get to sleep at a reasonable hour in the night. And it's all very frustrating. But I'm going to go hopefully get some goddamn help from these people.
I was going to say that's just getting old because I nap all the time, but I also sleep at night though. So that's
I mean, that's part of it. Age is a factor, but again, I've been dealing with this for years and I just didn't recognize it. It took me a long time to realize that I had sleep apnea, and until Maggie was like, dude, she's like, you just stop breathing for like 30 seconds in your sleep. I'm like, oh, really?
Huh.
So I thought that was going to solve it. But it's more than that. It's not just the CPAP because I still wake up all the time. And I'm not waking up because I'm not breathing. Because I did used to wake up gasping occasionally. I would catch myself literally like waking up going like that, just sucking in all this air.
My wife does that. Like she hasn't done it lately, but for a while she would wake up like choking and gasping. I'm like, Jesus. It's like you need to, she's been taking anxiety meds for a little bit, so it seemed to help her.
But yeah, I'm gonna go get this bullshit dealt with, hopefully. And if this doctor doesn't want to help me, I'll find another one. I guess I don't know what else to do. I'm tired of flipping through doctors. I just want somebody to be like, oh, okay, I just want to solve a problem. And they're always like, exercise. They're like, you weigh 3,000 pounds. Like, fuck you, bitch. I'm not that heavy. I'm not as heavy. Like, they always make me out to be like this fucking.
Oh, they didn't write morbidly obese on your chart like they did mine?
No, I've got obese. I've got obese. And again, dude, this sounds like an excuse, and it's not because I am overweight. I am absolutely overweight, and there's a lot of fat there. However, I do have a lot of muscle under here because I fucking used to lift 50-pound bags all day and be on my feet all fucking day. So my legs are fucking solid. I've had the legs of a fat person my whole life because I've just
Me too.
Worked.
Dude, I'm supposed to weigh like 168 pounds, and that chart can fuck off because I haven't weighed 165
That's bullshit.
pounds.
It's bullshit.
I was in the best shape of my life. You know what I mean? And then that's normal? Fuck that. Hell no.
I'm down 12 pounds. I've been on the diet, and
even when I was in shape, I was bulky and I weighed more than 165 fucking pounds. You know?
What they tell you is way too low. What it should be.
That's the thing with BMIs. They just come up with this number, but there's actual ways to get a BMI measurement per person, but nobody ever fucking does it.
Spend some money and get it.
Yeah,
right.
But they don't do that. They're just like, oh, you're a fat ass. That's the root of all your problems. It's like, but I've had these problems since I weighed 169 pounds. So I don't think that's it. Like I had both my heart attacks when I weighed less than 180 pounds.
And
I don't think
like
that's the
3
problem.
jobs. Yeah. It's like, I got plenty of exercise.
Right. Like, fuck off.
Dieting is giving me anxiety. God damn. There's nothing worse than not, I just want to eat a large pizza and fall asleep on the couch. That's all. That's what I love that. I'll tell you one good thing about dieting though is, man, when you eat, that food just tastes so much better than it normally does. You're just like,
so what are you doing? You eating a lot more fruits and vegetables? You eating less food? What are you doing?
Yeah, I didn't try anything crazy. I just am eating less and trying to have a more balanced meal, and it's working. It's just slow, you know.
Like, you got to incorporate. Yeah, it's supposed
sucks.
to be
like
slow.
Keto's
That's
freaking
good.
awesome, dude. Keto, you can drop weight like that, man.
You're not supposed to.
You're also miserable.
Right. So like yesterday, I made like pasta carbonara. You know, it's just like know noodles and ham and peas or something mixed in. And I just had like a normal sized bowl. I didn't have like the giant fucking,
You didn't do the Olive Garden portion?
The mixing bowl full of pasta.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do that.
I love the Olive Garden portion. I get it because I love food. Food is definitely one of my vices. And I also feel like if I didn't feel miserable all the time, maybe I wouldn't eat as much as I do. And I honestly don't even eat that much. That's what gets me. Here's what I've eaten today. This is why I don't understand why I'm fat. I had a ham, egg, and cheese sandwich, just one for breakfast. That's it. And then right before the podcast, I had a mini BLT from Jersey Mike's. That's all I've eaten today.
Yeah. Are you going to eat anything at night?
I don't know. So if it strikes me, I will. If not, then I won't.
Okay. So I was just wondering if you eat normally at night, No,
I don't like regiment it out. I just kind of eat when I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
still
what you're supposed to do, really.
Right.
Eat when you're hungry. You're not supposed
to. But I still feel like I'm way too fat. Now, don't get me wrong. There's days I binge. I mean, like, we got Giannino's the other day. I had 3 slices of pizza.
It's just so good, man.
3 slices of an extra large pizza.
That's it. Again, only 3.
Well, I shared it with my kids. They each get 3. So everybody gets 3.
Half a slice.
She doesn't like Giannino. She only likes Pizza Hut. That's the only pizza she'll eat. So
I like eating to the point where it's like, oh god, it hurts.
But it tastes so good.
I could have eaten. I mean, I didn't eat 3 because I was full. I ate 3 because I share with my children.
You love your children.
And I'm like, dude, I can't be ordering more than one. If one extra large pizza should be enough. That is enough food for 3 people for sure. Now Logan works out. He goes on walks every day. He goes to the gym. Mason, his metabolism is like mine was when I was younger, where he's just skinny as a rail. He can put away 4 pizzas. Like he's just like how I used to be, how I thought I was always going to be. Mm-hmm. Doesn't work out that way though. Back when I eat 4 or 5 bean burritos as a meal for Taco Bell, and then I was just skinny as a fucking rail. And then somewhere in my late 20s. Started adding weight to my body. I was like, what? I've weighed 169 pounds for 10 years. Now I weigh 180. What is happening?
I never had that metabolism. I was always fat. It's just like you eat too much, therefore you are fat. I just remember ordering like food in grade school, dude, and like everybody else would have the normal amount, and I'd be spending like $8 at lunch.
Oh, dude, if I could steal money from my mom for pizza days at Mayfair, I would I think the most I ever had was 8. I would eat 8 French bread pizzas if I could. Usually I'd get 2 or 4 because I could only scrounge up like $1 or 2. But if I could get a hold of like $4, I was like, I'm getting 8 fucking pizzas, and I'm eating 8 fucking pizzas, and I did.
Yeah,
and I loved it.
I would usually do that, like 6 to 8 pizzas.
Yeah,
that was my normal in 6th grade.
Right. I would be like in 4th, 5th grade and just eating those pizzas and just skinny as a fucking rail, dude.
But I got positive confirmation from my mother. She's like, "You're not fat. You're just husky." I was like, okay, no problem. Then I'll just continue to gorge myself.
You should have your mom talk to your doctor so he can change that on your chart. Cross out the morbidly obese. Just put husky. He's just husky. He's just big boned.
He's just big boned. He's
very big boned.
You fat ass.
Biggest bones you've ever seen.
So yeah.
All right.
Dieting sucks.
Yeah, dude, I feel good. You know what? Power to you, though. I wish you the best with it. I hope you keep it up. It takes a lot of willpower. like Rob's a smoker. He loves smoke. That's food is my cigarettes, man. Like it's so hard to like cut back or change what I'm going to eat.
It's really hard when my profession is delivering salty snacks.
Like to places that are also selling more food.
I have an obscene amount of salty snacks behind me at all
Sugary
times.
too, though. I mean, dude, like everything you sell is shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's
but
garbage.
It tastes so good. It tastes so good.
Yeah.
Like even the peanuts are not good for you because they got so much salt and like the honey roasted are bad.
Steve, I've been meaning to ask you this for probably 2 months now, and I just now remembered. And tell me if I'm crazy, but like the last 2 bags of Ruffles I bought. It's been a while since I bought chips, but a couple months ago we were buying like Ruffles pretty regularly, and they're like these bags are packed. Like, and they didn't used to be. Like the whole thing with like Lay's is like you'd buy a bag, it'd be like 2/3 air, 1/3 chips. These last 2 bags of Ruffles I got it was like packed to the top, dude. And I was just like, am I crazy? Has anybody else noticed this? Is this real? What is happening? Let the expert tell us.
Frito-Lay Legal just texted me. They said no comment. Yeah, dude, it's called shrinkflation is what it is. They put less chips and
he's saying
I'm saying there's more chips.
He's saying the opposite of that.
I'm saying it used to be you'd buy a bag of chips, it'd be about 1/3 full of chips, the rest is air. The last 2 bags of Ruffles I bought.
He said
this is the important part, so pay attention.
No, the bag's getting smaller.
But so basically all that stuff about the air for packaging is bullshit. Is that what you're saying? Why would they make the bag smaller though?
It doesn't. The price is going up and the bags are staying the same. I don't know. Maybe you just got sometimes they'll overfill the bag. Sometimes
that's what
it'll be a mistake.
I will be a spokesman for Steve. What happened was that production line manager is fired because those tips got too full.
Yes, you should have
never.
So
it was
that guy is out of a job because
that was just my experience.
You should have never gotten more. There was a mistake in the packaging.
Somebody had enough, and they're like, "I'm going to fill these," and they weren't. And let me just tell you guys this because they say the air is there to keep them from breaking. It's the same amount of broken chips as before. No more broken chips. Just broken chips at the bottom, like always, because they're going to settle. Everything at the top, nice, big, solid chips. No breakage.
That was
almost to the top, dude. I will if it happens again, I will send you a picture.
That was probably me putting your chips up. I was just throwing them up there.
Dude, you've talked to Steve while he's at work. All you hear in the background is chips crumpling.
It's a test of your sanity to talk to Steve while he's at work. Yeah. Imagine just imagine somebody crinkling an infinite supply of aluminum foil through a megaphone into your ear is what it sounds like. It's terrible.
It's not the packaging. It's the guy that puts them on the shelf.
I'd like to let you know also at the end of this month, prices are going up again.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yes, on all bags.
Of course they are.
So bend over and take it. I love how the consumer has to end up footing the bill. Like, why can't we just have corporations pay taxes? Like, why can't we do that?
It would just get passed to you. I'm even beyond that. We're screwed.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I mean, and this isn't right. This is well known, but basically, what it comes down to is they're testing to see if we'll keep paying. They're seeing how their sales go when they raise the price.
Yeah.
If we keep buying, they're going to keep inching it up there and keep increasing their profit margins, and until there's a breaking point.
See,
there hasn't been one yet.
That's what they did. They tried to raise the price on the 2 for $1 chips. And, the people in the hood were like, "No, fuck you! I ain't paying that." And they changed it back. They changed it. They tried to go 2 for $2.75, I think, instead of 2 for $1.25 instead of 2 for $1. And it was like a riot.
So they hit that breaking point. They were like, and did they reverse it? They reversed it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I mean. They hit a point. They see where it is. They poke. They prod. They test.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, didn't work. That's our break-even point. We got to bring it back." And they're like, "Okay." we're making about a 400% profit. I guess we'll have to make do with that.
So they're like, the poor people can't pay. So let's gouge the middle class.
I found a picture, and by the way, this is Lay's, not Ruffles, but I have been buying Ruffles recently. I don't know if you can see this picture. I'm guessing you can't, but
party size.
There's a chip clip on there. I'll just send. Actually, I don't know why I'm showing it to you through a camera when I can just text you guys. But look at this picture. Basically, I opened this bag of chips. I had like maybe a handful of chips out of it, and then closed it. Look, and this is a 13-ounce bag. Look how low down the chip clip is. It's not very low down. That's normally not how it is when you open a bag of chips. And I've eaten some out of there, like that. Do you guys see it or no?
Yeah.
Does it look, or does it just look normal to you? Because dude, that is packed to that point.
Does look a little.
It is packed to that point and beyond because I ate some out of there. It was fucking packed. I took a fucking picture. That's from November. I just went through my phone and found it because I was just so blown away by the fact that it was packed to the fucking almost to the top with chips. I've never experienced that with a Lay's.
I think that was a production error.
You're probably right.
Well, whatever the size bag is, the ounces are less than they used to be. So I think it was like 14.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. Well, I remember like when the party size was like fucking huge, right? It was like this fucking 2-foot bag. I think that is that what is that, family size? 13 ounces is family size. I'm like, what, a family of one? What is that?
Now it's as Hawkeye would call it, fun size.
No, 13 ounces is the party size. I just sent you the party size. 13 ounces. I swear to God, party size used to be like 24 ounces. Like,
yeah.
What is happening? Like, party size? What?
Dude, it's crazy. But it's what you say, though. As long as people keep paying for it, they'll never...
Right. Until they reach that point where the sales dip, if they see a dip, they might back off it. But again, it probably has to be a pretty steep dip before they'll do it.
Yeah.
Because it's, however the math works out on that. Like, okay, we lost a little bit of sales, but we also hyped it up enough that we're actually making more money. So,
Well,
it's fucked up.
A lot of people that buy chips are on EBT, so I don't really give a shit anyway. So they're just like...
They care, though. Some of those, you still, like, my mom was on welfare. And back when it was just food stamps and you didn't have these fancy schmancy cards, but like she counted that shit. Yeah. You got to keep track of that shit.
Well, they did. Like I said, with the 50 cents, everybody got together and like, we ain't doing it,
Like,
there's so much outrage. That's what I'm saying.
We saw a decline in sales and an increase in theft. It was not good.
Well, once we get the check, we don't care. A bag stole is a bag. I forget what the saying.
Bro, yeah, it's not your loss at that point.
I already got the check from the customer.
Right. No, but yeah, I guess that's true. So that's not shrink for them.
Yeah, but it's like what we were saying earlier, to bring it back to that, you got to have the people together. The people are together, they can do anything.
We'll come together over chips.
Yeah.
Come together over our flaming hot Cheetos, motherfuckers.
If there's one thing that can bring us together, it's fucking potato chips. That's for sure. All right, let's talk about this comic.
All right, all right, so the comic this week is the most recent, first 6 issues of the most recent Ghost Rider run. Credits on the first issue, writer Benjamin Percy, artist Corey Smith, Brian Valenza, a colorist, VC's Travis Lanham as a letterer, and I'm going to fuck this guy's name up, Kale Ingu, a cover artist who I actually follow him on Twitter.
Nailed it.
Or no, not Twitter. I follow him on Instagram. He's an amazing artist, and the covers do look amazing. So 6 issues, Ghost Rider. So Ghost Rider, here's what I know about Ghost Rider. This is not research, so some of it might be wrong. But what I know about Ghost Rider is there's been multiple Ghost Riders. The most popular one being Johnny Blaze, and I believe that's who Nicolas Cage portrayed in the 2 Ghost Riders movies.
I had no idea there were multiple Ghost Riders. That's interesting.
Yeah, Johnny Blaze, Danny, somebody, and there's a third, at least one more. I can't think of the name. But Johnny Blaze is the most popular one.
Because you watched that Marvel show. What was it with Coulson?
Oh, he wasn't Johnny Blaze?
No.
Oh.
Agents
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
So Ghost Rider basically is a band. He gets possessed by I think he dies. I don't know the origin story, so I'm not going to try to make one up. But basically he ends up with the spirit of vengeance inside of him. He has the penance stare where he punishes the guilty by looking into their eyes. He also has like these God of War type flaming chains to fight people with. He's got a lot of flames, got a motorcycle. Sometimes he has a flaming car, depending on which one. This one is going back to Johnny Blaze, motorcycle, basic. And I think this is like kind of a reboot or something. I don't remember when the last Ghost Rider title was. So it looks like it's kind of a reboot. It looks like from what I've gathered from the comic, he's been out of the game for a little while, and they give a reason for that. You guys can tell the story because you're better at it. And like
what?
My short-term memory is like I read all 6 issues. I finished the last one today, and I can't remember any character names. I remember some beats. I remember a surprise, like in the 4th or 5th issue, that I did not see coming.
Sean's like, let's turn it over to the guys who know less adjectives to describe something.
Dude, but you retain your short-term memories are much better than mine. So take it away.
You don't remember Wolverine?
I do remember Wolverine. Okay. Yes.
Johnny Blaze is having problems. He's going to a therapist and he's trying to figure out what's going on, but he still knows that the Rider is a part of him, right? Like he still knows that comes out.
Let me say this before you get into it. Episode. I did find this, and tell me if you guys agree or not, but I found this a little incoherent at times. This story.
Yeah, it was. When
they got to like the circus people, I'm like, did they mention the circus before? What's happening?
what it reminded me of, it seemed like episodic. Like it reminded me like I was watching like Supernatural, only instead of the Sam and Dean, it was Johnny Blaze and the Rider.
So you're saying like a monster of the week type of story.
Yeah, each issue seemed like another monster story. And I kind of
with an overarching kind of theme, but not going deep on that.
I kind of dug it. I really enjoyed that. I was like, man, I could see this as a TV show, which is exciting for me while I was reading it. But
I will say this, it definitely was trying to have a horror slant. This is a comic that I think could have benefited for being like a Max series. I don't know if Marvel does Max series anymore, but
it was still pretty horrific for what it was.
You think so? I didn't think it went deep enough on the horror myself.
I didn't think any of what you guys said. I do think it was a little incoherent at the beginning because I was like, what? Johnny Blaze don't have no wife and kids. I was like, I didn't know what was going on. So to start right there, I was a little confused because I know a little bit about Ghost Rider. But then after that, after like the first chapter or the first book or whatever you call it, then I got it. But the supernatural part, I don't think they brought in a new monster every week. I just think the whole storyline kind of dealt with the supernatural more than it did.
I'm not saying it was exactly like Supernatural. I'm just saying it reminded me of something like that.
I didn't think each chapter had a different monster in it, like Supernatural. But I see what you're saying, where it dealt more with the supernatural than it kind of did. Like there were wizards.
One of the things
whatever
I found like kind of off-putting was the fact that so back in the day, like you read an old, 60s, 70s Spider-Man comic or whatever, even 80s Spider-Man comic, you would have what they call thought balloons, right? Where it'd be like a little cloud with the words in it. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
As opposed to, you have like a little cloudy thing to show they were thinking. Well, they got rid of that. But in this, they were just replaced it with boxes. Basically there's a lot of internal monologue going on, which I found kind of boring. I'm not going to lie. Artwork was fantastic all the way through pretty much. The last issue clearly had a different artist, but it was still solid. All the covers were amazing. The artwork was on point for the most part.
The thought boxes, they have different colors depending on who's speaking usually, though.
Yeah, but this had a lot of narration and thought. But basically, and it occurred to me reading this, I'm like, these are just thought bubbles, but they're not thought bubbles. They're just in boxes now. So apparently that's a distinction that needs to be made nowadays so they don't look outdated. But I'm like, this is just a bunch of inner monologue shit, which to me doesn't translate well to to comics a lot when you overuse it.
Well,
I think it got a little overused in this.
I think there was a lot of inner thought boxes because he was going through therapy, and a lot of the shit he's trying to figure out what's going on. And then you find out he's got a demonic parasite in him. You find out. So like everything's fucking with his head, and he doesn't even know. Like he said, because he knows the writer's inside him, but he says like they're not on the same page anymore, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And then
all right, so I'm gonna try to give a summary to the listener here because they're probably like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So basically, Ghost Rider's been on some kind of he's been out of the Marvel game for a little bit, from what I can tell. He has a wife and family. He's got a job working for his father-in-law, and everything just feels off to him. You know, something's off, and he finally realizes that basically he's in some kind of
demon
limbo.
Town. He's in a demon town.
He kept seeing monsters too. Like he
did keep seeing monsters, like in reflections or in brief flashes in his nightmares.
His wife would turn into one all of a sudden.
And everybody. So it turned out everybody was actually a demon of some sort, and they were keeping him trapped there. Right? Does that sound right?
Yes.
That's what I took away from it.
Yes.
So he figures that out. He's had this accident. He got some road rash pretty bad on his head. So he knows about that, but that's pretty much how the demon got in him. Apparently, not the spirit of vengeance, but this parasite that looked like something out of John Carpenter's The Thing. So he's at war, like he said. Steve was saying he feels like he can feel the rider in him, but he doesn't feel like an ally per se. He said he feels more like a weapon or something.
Yeah.
So he's kind of working through all that. Therapist is also a demon. Everybody's it's like the Truman Show, but with demons.
The writer senses something too. Like the writer knows that something's going on with Johnny, you know. So like the writer gives Johnny clues like of what to do and where to go, but at the same time he can't trust Johnny either because he doesn't know what's going on. So it's like all the issues are kind of like a battle working through that and figuring out.
So Chapter 1 was basically he figures out that he was in this hell of whatever. So he gets out of that, but things are still. So he was like in a different dimension of hell or something. So he gets out of that. He's back in the real world, but he still has that scar on his head, and it's not healing. And he like you said, he's off with the writer and everything, but he knows that that other shit wasn't real or whatever. So this wizard or warlock or somebody got him out of that, helped him get out of it.
Zeb.
There you go. So then,
okay, so we're getting a little ahead though. So then on the flip side of the story, you have a government agency. I don't know if it's SHIELD, CIA, FBI, or whatever.
It's FBI.
Okay,
SHIELD
so
is no
they have.
more.
Okay, so they have a supernatural division or whatever. They have this woman come in. She looks like the Crow, basically.
Talia Warroad.
Do we know who this is? Does anybody?
Talia Warroad.
No, I'm not familiar.
I was hoping you guys would know who that is.
I didn't even.
I don't know much about I know Mephisto, and I've seen Blackheart before. I don't know much about him though, and Blackheart does show up in a brief cameo. But anyway, so they pair this chick up with this kind of goofy this nerdy straight edge type of agent to go hunt down Ghost Rider, basically. So like they have their whole thing where he's super stuffy and stiff, and she's more of a loose cannon type as they go hunting for him. Pretty basic story tropes. And then basically, Ghost Rider's figuring out, or Johnny Blaze is, figuring all this stuff out, ends up in this crazy race with Doctor Doom and Blade. And
yeah.
Cannonball Run of Marvel.
Cannonball Run. Yes, it was brilliant. Absolutely.
Each issue was like a different like thing. Like the first one, he escaped Demon Town, and then he was on this Death Road or whatever. Like,
right, the Red Road.
Yeah,
that whole thing.
There was like an evil trucker or something that was killing everybody. And then the next one, it was like this evil demonic circus or something. And then eventually they get to this road race. And I'm like, what is going on? This is crazy.
When I saw that first panel, with all those Marvel villains, but Black Widow's there, Wolverine's there. There's a bunch of characters there, and I'm like, are these cosplayers? What is happening?
Yeah.
But no, it's like, so basically, like, whoever wins this race gets a wish or access to Satan, and Satan will grant them whatever deepest desire they have. Supposedly, that's
everybody
the
and their mother was in this race, man.
Yeah, Dr. Doom on a motorcycle. I don't know why, it just looked hilarious.
Moon Knight was there.
Moon Knight, yeah. Everybody's at this race.
Black Widow was there.
Black Widow. They figure out like halfway through that the race is bullshit. They're just using it to recruit these people, drag them down into the Shadow Zone or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And then Wolverine ends up actually helping him get, this. He performs this very physical exorcism with his claws and fire, and gets this thing out of him.
The parasite kills the parasite. Well, it doesn't kill it; it knocks it out of him, and it ends up going to another guy.
They just leave it there, like you do. When you take out a deadly demon out of someone, you just leave it there.
Maybe they didn't see it crawl away. Maybe they thought they thought they killed it.
I would give this. So the 6-issue run has been getting like I've been hearing about it on like the comic book websites. It's really good. So, this new run period, not these first 6 issues, but I'd say it's solid, but it's not enough to keep me reading. I thought the art was great. And it is solid. It's for the most part, it moves fairly quickly. I do have like some minor gripes about too much with the inner monologue stuff. Kind of got a little annoying, but the story is moving, and they're clearly building towards something. There's a good twist in there that I didn't see coming, but I'd give it like 2 out of 4. The art was fantastic, but it didn't hook me though. I guess I'd read it was like a good horror comic, and I don't think they delivered on the horror for me. Apparently, I need much more hardcore horror for it to really land as a horror comic.
Yeah, I liked it more than you did. I give it a 3. I liked some of there was one issue with a motel where some of the occupants were being sacrificed to some demon troll or whatever, and this guy, the owner of the motel, would abduct the people and give them to the troll, and there was like a family he abducted, and one of the demons just picked up their dad and just ate him. Right in front of him. I was like, oh, that's fucked up, man.
See, but like Spawn, when it does horror, it gets a lot more gruesome, which I like when I'm reading a horror
there
comic.
Was the circus one where like they were fighting an amalgamation of a bunch of people. It looked, it was like a bunch of bodies morphed into one giant being. Like, and I was like, man, that's kind of creepy and cool. I like the visuals,
It was not Spawn level though, in my opinion. I think Spawn is, as far as superhero comics go, Spawn does horror a lot better.
Okay, well, if
art-wise,
if this was a Max comic, I probably would enjoy it even more, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless. So
it's like the same reason I think that, the Venom movies could be a lot better, is they could have really gone in for the horror stuff, and they didn't, and I think it detracts from it.
You know what I really enjoyed about this one though? I didn't like in the movies. Does the Rider come out and just like rip his flesh apart when he comes out, or he just shows
like again, the movies are like PG-13, but he does. I do remember vaguely Nicolas Cage saying something about how painful it is when he turns into the Rider.
Okay,
but yeah, there was that cool scene where he did start tearing his face off.
Yeah, like he would like the Rider would like open up his mouth and his hands would come out, and then he just rip the body in half, to get out of him. I thought that was really cool, and I'm like, how do you come back from that? Like, how are you Johnny Blaze the next morning?
It's like the werewolf transformations from the movie, where it's just like, he's back. Never mind, he's okay.
He's okay. I'm okay. But yeah, I enjoyed this one. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I give it a 2.5. It was decent.
Yeah. Would you continue reading this or no?
I won't continue reading anything.
That's not true. You've read on some of the comics. So
that is true.
That is not true.
A 2.5. I'm not going to continue reading. I'm intrigued. I'd like to see where the story goes, but I'd rather have somebody just tell me.
Yeah.
Than do all that reading.
I really enjoyed learning about somebody I really don't know anything at all.
Yeah.
So that was cool too.
You didn't like the Ghost Rider truck? You saw that coming, didn't you? You knew he.
Yeah.
Like, once there was a truck involved, I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's gonna be
when
a
the
Ghost
rider
Rider
took
truck.
over the truck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was like,
Dude,
I
that
saw
rider is so fucking cool, man. Like, he looks so awesome.
Danny Ketch. That's one of the Ghost Riders. I just remembered his name. Sorry.
Danny. I think that was the one in.
I think it's Danny Ketch.
Wasn't that?
I'm not sure.
What was the Ghost Rider? What was his name in the Shield?
I don't know. I don't remember. I thought it was Johnny Cage. I guess not. But yeah,
Danny Blaze, Johnny Ketch, Robbie Reyes.
Robbie Reyes.
That's it.
What it is. Now you said it. That was definitely it.
Yep. That was it.
So, yeah, there's been a few.
There was no Penance Stare in these comics. So,
no Penance Stare.
Yeah, no Penance Stare.
Interesting.
Just a lot of flames and chains.
Yeah, the artwork was pretty good.
Yeah, I could see. I enjoyed this comic. I could see myself reading on.
You know, the movies, the visual effects for Ghost Rider really weren't that bad.
Dude, I enjoyed the Ghost Rider movies.
I'm
not going to say they're good movies, but there's some stuff Nicolas Cage really throws himself into, and this was one of the because he's a comic book nerd. I don't know if you know that. Like he owns, or he used to own. I don't know if he still does, but he used to have Action Comics #1. He's a big comic book guy. And I mean, they're a little hokey, but it's like intentional, I think.
Yeah.
And I forget who. I think the first one was directed by the same guy that directed that Daredevil movie. But they have that feel of that era, but I think they're just enjoyable overall. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's a great movie, but dude, like when I watched, Steve and I watched, or did you watch the second one with us, Rob?
Yeah.
Or was that just Steve?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen the second one.
Okay,
I know which one you're talking about.
So
it wasn't
I didn't
that bad
see the second
either.
one till like last year.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, we gotta watch this. So we watched it, and it was fun. It was a fun movie.
There was a lot of funny parts in there too. Like I was laughing at some of the spots, and not because of just the ridiculousness. I was actually laughing at some of the jokes.
Well, we watched it. I think it was after we watched Uncharted, and it was a breath of fresh air after the awfulness
it was a good
of Uncharted.
A good palate cleanse.
Yeah, it was just fun. It moved. The action scenes were really pretty cool, especially for somebody who's not really into driving. There's some driving stuff in there, but it's got supernatural elements, so it makes it a little more interesting.
Yeah, I want to watch the first one again because after we watched that second one, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Second
if I
one wasn't
own it.
bad.
I need to watch. I haven't seen the first one since it came out on DVD.
Yeah, and it was like an hour and a half. It was like the perfect length.
It's a popcorn flick. It's not trying to establish some deep lore like into the MCU or anything. Keeps it lightweight, moving, action. And like Steve said, there's some self-aware humor in there. It's an enjoyable flick. Again, I'm not going to say it's like a high quality movie, but it's enjoyable.
Did you guys do your top 5 Nick Cage movies?
No.
No, I didn't.
You fucking assholes! I hate you.
I truly did forget about that.
I can tell you my top one.
Yeah, of course I did. What
do you got?
I'm the only one that does lists, apparently.
All
right.
Yeah, what are you like the BuzzFeed or what?
I guess, man.
Does everything have to be a goddamn list?
Dude, I love lists. Who doesn't like lists? Lists are awesome.
I click on BuzzFeed.
All right, top 5 Nick Cage movies according to Steve. Number 5, Bringing Out the Dead. Did you guys ever see
that? That was a good movie. Was that a Scorsese movie?
I think so.
I only saw it once, but it was tripped out, man.
Yeah, it was Frank Pierce as his character, and he's like a paramedic, and he's haunted by the people, the ghosts of the people he couldn't save.
Right.
I thought it was pretty interesting.
And he's using all the fucking hospital medication and stuff to inebriate himself.
Like he's going fucking crazy, and it goes over like 3 nights or something like that.
Bringing Out the Dead, solid.
All right, Honeymoon in Vegas. You guys ever see that?
Mm-hmm.
Not leaving
one time. It was. I would call that forgettable.
Elizabeth Shue.
You don't like romantic comedies?
If number 4 is Honeymoon in Vegas, I can't wait to see. What the hell?
And that's why I wanted you guys to make lists, because I knew yours was very drastically from mine. Yeah, okay, that was my number 4. Number 3, The Rock.
Number
Welcome,
3.
Okay.
Welcome to The Rock. Stanley
Okay.
Goodspeed. Who doesn't like to see somebody, stopping a terrorist from
Stanley Goodspeed.
that was, remember?
Jesus Christ.
You don't remember his name?
Yeah. No, now you say it, I do, yeah.
Yeah. And he had to beat, he had to defeat Ed Harris from
I think that was the first Michael Bay movie I ever saw. So I didn't hate him yet.
yeah, okay. Number 2, Gone in 60 Seconds. Memphis.
I've never
Ahead
seen
of
that.
the
And I
Rock.
never will.
Oh, Memphis Reigns, dude. He is like, that's one
Memphis
of my favorites,
Reigns.
man.
Ahead of the Rock.
They got a jack. They have to steal 50 cars in one night. He's got to do that to save his brother from like a hitman or something. And then, dude, the end with this Shelby Mustang.
Let me guess. Can I guess? Oh, can I guess your first
It's
number one?
I'm talking about cars here.
It's got to be Con Air.
No.
Right?
We're talking about Eleanor. That's the name of the car in the movie.
The
Shelby GT. Oh my God! It's so that.
Did it do that thing where all the tires moved the person?
It did
next location.
Everything you could possibly want out of it.
Cars are amazing.
It blows. It blows.
It was the first Fast and the Furious movie. Actually.
It can't, dude. Fast and Furious can't touch this. This is the greatest.
Here's what I think Steve's number one is: 8mm. No, I'm just kidding. That movie's terrible.
No, you know what? You know what my number.
Your number one is Face Off.
You got it. Face Off.
So here's what I would.
You good looking.
that movie was over the top insane. That's a funny ass movie,
and it had John Woo with all the slow motion, all the unnecessary slow motion.
So for one, I would swap out Honeymoon in Vegas, dude. I would have put Leaving Las Vegas over. I was going to say,
yeah,
that won Oscars. Blah blah blah. Hey, you want a list? Make your list. This is my list.
So here, in no particular order, dude, Con Air has got to be
Con Air. That's what I thought was going to be number one when you could put Rock at number 3.
That's my number one.
Yeah,
Con Air is
I would not argue with that.
With that mullet, it's a good time. I made Maggie watch it. She watched the whole fucking
great
thing,
cast.
And
over Face Off, dude? No way. Get out of here,
That's
man.
a much better film.
With the fucking gold pistols and the dude fucks his wife? Oh my God, it's so fucked up. God damn.
My issue with Face Off is I think it's a little over long. And Here's the one thing about Face Off that, the first time I saw it, I'm like, what the heck?
Why won't you die?
I don't remember that. But here's what I did remember. And right away, that rubbed me the wrong. And again, it's an over-the-top action movie, and I'm nitpicking. However, I was just like, they do the Face-Off thing. They switch faces. John Travolta and Nick Cage switch faces. They tell John Travolta, hey, his brother's super paranoid, so you got to be careful. So John Travolta walks in there. And by John Travolta, I mean Nicolas Cage. Walks in, but he is now the John Travolta character as Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage walks in, looks just like Nicolas Cage. Nobody knows about this face switching technology. Immediately, his brother is suspicious that the person in front, there's no cloning technology, there's no face switching technology, and immediately his brother is like, I don't think you're Nicolas Cage. It was ridiculous.
Look.
It was so ridiculous.
Yes, that's why it's great. It's because it's ridiculous.
That's not why it's great.
Yes. It's
all right. Here's another one.
Great.
Here's another one I really liked. Adaptation. That was a really good movie.
That was good.
So what else do we have on?
What's your number one? Con Air for sure.
I never saw I've never seen Raising Arizona.
I was gonna say Raising Arizona is great. That's got to be on
that was honorable mention just because I never seen it. I was like, everybody talks about this. This should be close.
Moonlighting.
I'd probably put.
Was it Moonlight? Moonstruck.
Mm-hmm. I have never seen that.
That was
another one I put on there is Kick Ass. I really like Kick Ass.
Kick Ass was good.
He's done a lot of weird. I haven't seen his most recent one.
Yeah.
He's coming out with. He's gonna be Renfro or something in a Dracula movie.
Renfield. He's not Renfield. He's Dracula.
Renfro.
No. He's Renfro. Renfield.
Renfield, I believe, is
Nicolas Cage. No, that's who Nicolas Cage is playing. I thought.
A vampire named Renfield?
No, he's the Renfield. He's the assistant to the vampire.
No, he plays the vampire.
No, I thought Nicolas Cage plays.
No, Nicholas Hoult plays plays Redfield.
Get out.
I watched the trailer. Have you watched the trailer?
Really?
I watched the trailer.
See, I thought it would be funnier if he was the.
No, trust me. Watch the trailer. Nicolas Cage is having a great time being a fucking Christopher fucking.
None of it will hold a candle to Face Off. It doesn't matter what he does because he can't do anything better.
I would say The Rock, then Con Air, and then you could.
This guy is not allowed to do drugs anymore. You don't remember that line?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
Christopher Lee, he does almost like a Christopher Lee style Dracula, but like hammed up. Mm-hmm. And the trailer looks very funny. And that also reminds me, I watched The Menu, and that was really good.
You should watch it? I liked it.
Oh, I wanted to watch it. I didn't watch it.
I liked it. Sean, you liked it? I thought it was good.
Oh, I loved it. I love a good Eat the Rich movie. Mm. That's always been, I mean, it's not literally Eat the Rich, but yeah, I love stuff.
Yeah, chef.
Great cast, great. It just a solid flick, very enjoyable on HBO. I'm probably gonna watch that The Pale Blue Eye or whatever it's called on Netflix. Christian Bale. I'm gonna watch
Edgar
that
Allan Poe.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that with Maggie because that's right up her alley.
Molly started it.
We both watched The Menu. We both really liked it. Really, and it's almost like a dark comedy, basically. To me, anyway, it's a dark comedy, but I thought it was very funny. The Menu, that is. But yeah, check that out.
I want to watch that. I definitely want to watch that.
All right, so I got to pick a movie for next week. I have two ideas. I'll pitch my first one, depending on if you guys have seen this or not. I know Steve has seen this one, but I don't know when he saw it. I don't know. I feel like it's been so long, he might not remember it. But I mentioned it earlier, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Rob, have you ever seen that?
Dude, last time I saw it, you had a John Carpenter party at your house.
At my John Carpenter, Kurt Russell appreciation party. That's right.
That was very fun.
And that was, probably around 2005, 6, somewhere around there.
And that is the first time I saw it too.
Yeah, so I threw a John Carpenter, Kurt Russell appreciation party where we watched Escape from New York, The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, and Escape from L.A. Because I love the movies those guys do together. The Thing is probably the best one of those four, in my opinion. So I think we're going to do The
Big
Thing.
Trouble in Little China is the best.
You think it's the best?
Oh yeah.
But
I also like Face Off. So we all have different lists.
I love Big Trouble. I love all four of those. The worst one is easily Big Trouble. And then I almost said Born in East LA. That's not
Escape
it.
from LA.
Escape from LA.
Snake.
But when I rewatched it, I remember going to the theater and it felt like super campy. But when I watched it again, I just enjoyed the tone of it a lot more. It is campy, but it's intentional and it's a good time. The Thing is the best one. Big Trouble in Little China is amazing. Escape from New York is great, but man, is it slow. I remember the first time I saw it because it's one of those revered nerd movies that's had a huge impact on movies and video games and stuff. That's a slow fucking movie, dude. It's a good movie. It's a low budget, movie post Halloween. And I think Assault on Precinct 313 or whatever. I think it was after that one too. But The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing is the movie for.
What's your other suggestion?
Wait, you said there was.
Yeah, you were like, I got a couple.
Well,
here.
Rob hadn't seen The Thing, and I wanted to watch The Thing.
Yeah, I have a long time ago.
But can I have something?
Is the other?
We'll watch it. But what's the other one?
Is the other one the one we were talking about earlier today?
What were we talking about earlier today? I don't remember. Because I have no memory.
Garbage Pail Kids.
It's not because I can't find anywhere that we could all actually watch it without buying.
I've seen that too, and I'm glad we're watching The Thing.
I've never seen it.
I
want to watch it.
I want to watch that too.
I watched the Red Letter Media guys review it, and just watching them review it and the clips from it was hilarious. I'm like, I got to see this movie one day.
I don't know why I've seen it. It wasn't it horror-ish. I think Dad.
It wasn't supposed to be. Right. I don't think, but I think because the costumes were so low budget that it looks horrifying. It's not intended to be. I think it's intended to be a gross out kids movie, but it looks terrifying.
That might have been when Dad and I rented a Blockbuster. I remember seeing it, and it was horrible, but it was a B movie. It was
very low
Dad
budget.
loved it, I'm sure.
Oh man, I can't believe I haven't seen that because I used to like collect the cards and stuff.
Hey, listener, you want to support the show? Send us 3 copies of Garbage Pail Kids, and we'll watch that shit. I will watch it to the end, no matter how terrible it is.
And Steve just Amazoned you 3 copies.
You gotta find it.
But I do want to watch that one day. It's always been a curiosity to me, and and even as like I never had Garbage Pail Kids, of course, because of my mother. But they were. I remember when they were huge, and all the other kids at school had them and stuff. And I was fascinated by them. And I always just loved the artwork, and it was just very gross out, making fun of Cabbage Patch Kids and all this stuff. Very, very popular fad. Very brief popular fad back in the 80s.
What year did those come out? The cards
in the mid 80s, like 84, 85, somewhere around there. And then they made a movie, which it was, even as a kid, even as an idiot kid with access to nothing, I was like, why would they make a movie out of trading cards? You know what I mean? It just seemed weird. And then you see like the trailer and the commercial, and you're just like, this looks worse than I thought. Again, even as a kid, you're like, this looks fucking terrible.
You're like, dude, Hollywood will make anything.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm thinking? The Garbage Pail Kids remind me of the demons and monsters in the Ghost Rider issues we just read.
Watch that Red Letter Media review on YouTube if you want to. Garbage Pail Kids. It's worth a watch. It's hilarious.
What studio produced that? Was that like TriStar or something?
No, it was probably
that's too high budget for that.
I was gonna say it was probably a studio like Arrow or Canon or somebody like that. Is my guess.
Some of the old ones.
But I do. We got to watch that one day. But for now, The Thing. My other one was going to be The Warriors. I haven't watched that in a while. That's
Warriors.
I don't know that one.
Come out and play.
Oh, we'll do that one maybe next time. But for now, John Carpenter's The Thing. It's in my Vudu if you need to watch it. I don't know if I think it might be on Paramount Plus or something too, but it's on my Vudu for sure. So if you guys need my Vudu access, you can get it.
Oh, I own that one. I'm good this week. Okay.
You have it on Blu-ray, or what do you have it on?
Blu-ray, I believe.
Oh, okay. If you have just the DVD, I have the 4K version on my Vudu. So if you want to watch a better looking version of it, Blu-ray will be fine though. But if it's just the DVD, you'll definitely want to watch the 4K version. So
it's on Blu-ray. I'm looking at my DVDs now. It's not back there.
Okay. So that's pretty much it. We'll be back with John Carpenter's The Thing.
I think you meant to say Face Off.
John Carpenter's
Face Off.
Thanks for listening to Steve Eats a Podcast.
We'll see you next week.
Ciao.
Peace.